Hey guys, I'm Mr. Steve and I got an art project for you. Speaking of it, do you ever just think about doors? They're really quite extraordinary if you think about it. Doors separate spaces. This door separates the inside from the outside, and the inside and the outside are quite different spaces. They have to create a boundary, but what's really cool is they only function when they let you go in and out of them, when you can go through. Think about this. Can you think about a door that you've gone through and maybe how you felt about it? Think about maybe a door that you went through to your favorite restaurant. Maybe it's Chuck E. Cheese. Maybe the smells are delicious. Maybe there's awesome stuff to see and hear. Have you ever gone through a door to a new space? Maybe where you felt a little bit unsure of yourself? Was it a new class or a new school? Maybe you've been in that space when somebody new has gone through the door into your space. Think about that because it's going to drive our art lesson today. Guys, here's a sneak peek at what we'll be building. This is a small sculpture with a working door and a whole lot of pattern and decoration. When you open the door, we can even see a little guy inside. As we work, we're going to think of our big idea, welcome, and how that idea could look in our sculpture. Let's also think about this painting, Dance, by artist Keith Haring. He used bright colors, lines, patterns, and gesture or expressive movement to communicate feeling. I think this is a happy and exciting painting. What do you guys think? Here's the materials we're going to be working with. Flat cardboard packaging, like a cereal box or a pizza box, scissors, tape and or glue if you have both, even better, and markers or crayons. Here's our I can statements. I can use art tools and resources to build a sculptural art piece. I can identify line, color, pattern, and gesture in a work of art. I can use line, color, pattern, and gesture to make an expressive artwork. And I can reflect on the expressiveness of Keith Haring's artwork. All right, guys, I got some materials here and I'm ready to make some art. I have some markers that's going to allow us to color our art. If you don't have markers, you have crayons, something else to color and mark with, that's perfectly fine. I have some glue and some tape. If yours don't look exactly like this, that's fine, as long as we have something to fasten our work together with. I have some scissors, of course. It's going to allow us to cut up our packaging material, and we can use any kind of packaging material. I have a pizza box here because I love pizza, but maybe you like cereal instead. Whatever you have is what we're going to use. The name of this game is resourcefulness. That means using the things around us that we have in front of us to make art. So we have this box. And the first thing we're going to do is cut this up so that it's usable. I'm going to take it and cut this back part open, and I'm just trying to get one good flat piece. Now, after I open this up, you'll see that I have graphics on one side. We're actually going to use this other side because it's a clean, nice place for us to draw and make marks. Now, when we're sizing this, this is kind of a nice size. Generally speaking, we want to have, use your hands to measure. Yours might be bigger or smaller. It kind of doesn't matter because it's going to give us the same proportions. About 2 hands tall and about 1 hand wide. So right here, I'm going to make a mark. I'm going to cut this extra part off. Notice when I'm cutting that there's obviously a sharp and a pointy end of the scissors. I'm driving away from my body and I'm being safe with what I cut. So guys, I have my my sheet, lay it out, cut to nice clean edges and the right proportions. As a sneak peek, we're going to be making a structure that looks like this. You see, so it has a door right here that opens and closes. Inside of it, we're going to have a figure that we cut out, and that's our guy that's going to greet us. Remember, we're working around the idea of welcome. How can we welcome people into our door, into our spaces? Now, I have a piece over here that's going to let us see the type of lines we need to lay this out. So I'll set this aside, and what we're going to see here is I've made several marks. The first marks I'm going to make are these ones and these ones. They're just a little bit in, and they give us a straight line here and here. Now this is going to allow us to bend this back right here and here. So we're bending right on this line. I'm going to get a nice and good crease. Some of the material you're using might be thicker than others. If it's thicker, it's harder to bend. It doesn't mean you can't do it. You just have to work a little bit harder. So I have that nice bend right here. The same with this line right here. This is a bend line. We're bending that. Now you notice I drew these lines. Draw your lines as well, because we want those lines to bend on, and then importantly, to cut on. Notice this line I would draw right here all the way up, but I stop short. This line I draw all the way up, I stop short. That means I don't go all the way to the edge. And this line across, this is my door right here. So one side is going to be the hinge, the other side I'm going to cut open. Let's see what that looks like. Cut. Cut. Take your time. Do good work. Now right here I put two little lines. These are important because when I cut there, just a little bit, bend that out, I have a doorknob. This line does not get cut. Very important. That's our hinge. So what we do is that's a fold line right there. Fold. And now we have a door that opens and closes. Now we're at a point where we need to decorate this. We don't want to build this into a structure yet, like this, because this one is hard to decorate. It's 3 dimensions, and it's hard to hold on your table. This one's flat, and it's easy. So we're going to decorate this. Before we do it, I want to remember this line right here. This is a cut line, but only to that point. This line right here. This is a cut line, but only to that point. And before we forget, this place where we cut through, I'm going to take a little bit of tape. And I am just going to heal that cut. It's going to help us later. All we needed was to cut up into here for that door, but we do not need that cut anymore. So when we're thinking about decorating this, putting a surface on it, we're going to bring back our artist. Here's Keith Haring's painting Dancers. What we want to think about is our big idea, welcome, and so we're talking about a mood that we want to express or give off or let people feel and experience. And we want to think about Keith Haring and what he was able to express with his painting. Notice what he's using: line, color, pattern, movement, and gesture. Gesture is another way to say this is how do we hold our body or move our body or use our body to give people messages. So when we think of these figures dancing, this guy's arms are in the air and his feet are off the ground. He is giving a message of maybe excitement, of action, of happiness, of joy, and all of these dancers are doing that in different ways. So we want to think about line, color, and pattern and gesture as we decorate this. So we're going to use patterns, colors, and lines to create the front of this door to give us the feeling of welcome. Welcome might mean something different to you than it does to other people. Is it exciting? Is it happy? Is it calm? What does that mean to you, and how does that look? So starting with this, I might start with the door, for instance. That seems like a good place to start. Maybe I'll draw lines and outline a structure in this door. What holds this door together? Maybe across here I have a diagonal line, and that's another part of the structure. And then I'm going to fill this up with some type of pattern. I love spirals. That's just an idea I had. Maybe you want triangles down here, some shapes. Repeated shapes make a pattern. It's your decision, and I want you to fill up this whole paper. Here's an example of one that I've been working on. And this is some other patterns throughout this area in a way that I'm trying to express welcome. I think it's this kind of gives us an idea of a place that people would want to visit. So moving on from this, when you have your whole paper filled up, we want to assemble this. If I pull this down and fold in my ears, and you can see how it's going to stand up. Now, this is where our glue comes in. A little bit of glue right here, just a dot, not a lot. A little bit of glue right here, dot, not a lot. And then I'm going to fold my ears in together. Now glue's funny because sometimes it feels like it's stuck, but it's really not until that glue is dry. It's what we call cured. So I'm going to help it out with a little bit of clear tape. If you don't have tape, that's fine. You just might have to hold it for a minute until it's really stuck. So there is my door structure. So guys, that's the end of part 1. We have our door structure built. Tune into part 2 to get a feel for the rest of the project. See you then.